Hey guys, welcome to Body Bags. It is Friday, and I'm your host, Matt from You and Your Horror Movies. And this week we are doing our favorite franchise, horror. So it can mean any kind of horror, meaning slashers, meaning creature features, whatever is a franchise. So for my franchise, I picked one of my favorite films of all. I have watched this movie, I don't know, at least once a year for sure, or whatever. Love the film, and that is from 1990, and that is Tremors. I remember seeing this trailer when I was a kid, and I remember going through the mall, and there used to be a movie theater in the mall, and they would have all the posters, and I would always be attracted to the poster of Tremors. I loved just going up to the poster and looking at it, going, reading the sayings, looking at the giant worm, but then I wasn't allowed to go see it. So of course it kind of was a flop in the theaters supposedly, but this sucker boomed when it hit video. And of course I went to town, bought the VHS back, and they just destroyed the VHS. So this is from 1990. Now this movie is a franchise because it spawned Tremors 2, Tremors 3, Tremors 4, and the short-lived Sci-Fi Channel Tremors the series. And now, supposedly in October, we're getting a Tremors 5. So that should be pretty cool. I can't wait. And that's going to be direct to video, so I'll be buying that bitch when it comes out. Alright, so probably everyone knows the story of Tremors. But for those who don't, I'll help you out a little bit. Alright, this is Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. They are two handymen. Now, Val and Earl. They're the ones that are doing all the odd and end jobs, and they're in a small town, Perfection, Nevada. Now they just want to leave. They just want to get out of there. There's nothing going on. They want to move to Bixby, which is the next big town over, but things are slowing them down. In the meanwhile, there's been some crews blasting in the area, and they show this like weird dirt mound, and it starts to vibrate a little bit. A little dirt comes down, and then later on, we're exposed to something grabbing people and sucking them through the ground, which is pretty cool. At first, your first kill wasn't in underground. It was a gentleman who climbed up a telephone pole, or not a telephone pole, but like a radio antenna type style, with his gun, and pretty much died of starvation. So they couldn't figure out what made him do that. The next person who was pulled along with all his sheep. And then Val and Earl, when they decided to leave, they found old Fred. Old Fred was an old man who lives out in the middle of nowhere. They saw the blood. They found his head in the ground. They're thinking, oh my god, someone's getting their heads chopped off. Someone is killing someone. There's murder. So when they try to escape, their truck gets stuck on something. They don't know what it is, and they finally get loose. And they pull into town, realizing, no, there's a murderer, there's a creature. Not a creature, there is a human going around killing people. They don't know how they're doing it. And of course, more deaths are occurring, and they're trying to figure out who was doing it. And then they find what was on the truck was this weird worm thing. Well, yes, it's actually the tongue of the graboid. Now, they didn't have the name graboid until Walter Chang and a bunch of the peeps decide, you gotta name this monster. It has to have a name. If it doesn't have a name, what's the point? Especially they discovered it. So they came up with the word graboid, because the thing would leech out its tongues, grab you, and pull you in and devour you. Yeah. So much fun. I love this film. What can I say? When Kevin Bacon was younger, he did, some big movies, and he wasn't big ever since, Footloose and a bunch of other films. I guess when he did this film, he pretty much ran out of his apartment crying, and he was complaining that he's doing a movie about killer worms in the desert. He's like, he didn't want to do it. Well, guess what? This movie shot up his career during the '90s. So he has a good thing to thank for this film. Now, Fred Ward went on to part two, and that's when he stopped. Now, Michael Gross is in all four movies and every single episode of the TV series. Fred Gross plays a survivalist slash gun enthusiast, and he's got so many fucking guns in his basement. Now he's married to Reba McEntire's character, and this is her first movie, Reba McEntire, and also too, the gentleman who played old Fred. That was his last movie. This movie was in 1990, and he died in 1993, which is kind of neat, but sad at the same time. So, Burt Gummer, who is your gun enthusiast, survivalist, got all the guns, got everything. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of cool shit, a lot of great special practical effects, not a lot of gore. This was originally intended to be R, but they reduced the fuck word down to pretty much one fuck near the end. And they brought it down to a PG-13 rating. But this is a fucking awesome PG-13 movie. So, if you've never seen Tremors, you thought this could be stupid, no. This is like one of the best movies from the 1990s, in my opinion. I love Tremors. Even the sequels are great. So check out the sequels. And get ready for in October for part 5. So, guys, check out Tremors. There's a Blu-ray attack pack out there. It's got all of them all in one, so that you can pick that up or pick up all individuals. Do what you want. There's an alternate ending on the documentary. For some reason, this doesn't have it. I don't understand. I guess there's maybe another different version out there that has the alternate ending, and it was only shown to a select group, and they hated the alternate ending, so they decided to cut it and go with the original ending in the film we've all seen. So it's good. I heard the alternate ending was pretty shitty. They, for all those who've seen it, the alternate ending, Earl and Val head off to Bixby, and they realize Rhonda, who was the seismologist student, has a lighter, so they drive back to Perfection to meet up with her. Yeah, I love the other ending better. The original ending, this one, ending of this film. So guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you like this franchise. I know I do, and I can't wait in October for part 5 to hit. They're supposed to be adding another evolution of the worm. Each movie has a different evolution, which is pretty neat. Tremors 4 goes back in time to the Wild West, so you got little baby graboids. You have Shriekers in part 2, Ass Blasters in part 3, and of course you have pretty much all of them in the TV show, plus other monsters, which is cool. So I can't wait to see what evolution stage they put in for Tremors 5. Be kind of cool. I heard you have graboids and you have Ass Blasters, so we're skipping Shriekers but going to something different. Ooh. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Later. Peace.